The other big story that we are watching today, the push to speed up the rollout of COVID vaccines. Meg Terrell joins us right now with the vaccination numbers so far and the comments from the Operation Warp Speed chief on a possible change. Meg, good morning.
Well, good morning, Becky. Today marks 3 weeks since the Pfizer vaccine began making its way into the arms of healthcare workers across the country. So today we are going to see a number of those folks get their second shot. But this comes amid a rollout that has been much slower than many hoped. According to the CDC, the latest numbers, 4.2 million shots have been administered of 13 million distributed. Now, those are a couple days out of date. We should see those updated later today. We do expect that they'll get to the 20 million distributed this week that they had planned initially to have actually be administered in December. So running a bit behind schedule. Now, CDC is starting to provide state-by-state data. We can see who appears to be doing sort of better than others. It's the less populous states, those in yellow, who have vaccinated more of their population, which kind of makes sense. But if you look at the overall numbers of vaccines administered, California, Texas, New York, Florida, they're doing the most with the most number of people. In terms of countries, the United States is behind. Israel has now vaccinated more than 10% of its population. Bahrain, which also started earlier, almost 4%. The UK and the US, they're under 2%, although those numbers, again, should be updated soon, and we should learn more about that. But falling behind a little bit there. And then, as you mentioned, those comments from Moncef Slaoui from Operation Warp Speed talking about the potential for administering a half dose of Moderna's vaccine in order to increase the supply. This is based on data showing that the immune response, at least in people under 55, was the same for the 50 microgram dose as the 100 microgram dose. So these are the kinds of things that are getting discussed now to try to increase supply. But guys, the first thing that needs to be solved is actually getting these shots into arms, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Meg, that when you say that 13 million doses have been distributed and about a third of them have actually, or the third of them have actually made their way into people's arms. I mean, that tells you something. There are breakdowns in that last, not the last mile, but the last inch, like trying to get it into somebody's arm. How is that going to get fixed?
There are expectations that this week and over the coming weeks in January, we should be seeing that start to speed up. Nancy Messonnier from the CDC was asked about it last week, and she pointed out there are sort of a number of things that cause a bit of a rocky start. These are complex new vaccines. They have to be thawed. They have to be handled carefully. So that's one thing. And this was done over the holidays. And you want to think, well, the holidays don't matter in the middle of a pandemic, but it might have slowed things down. So the expectation is we should start to see those numbers really get higher this week and in the coming weeks. And the other part of it is there's long-term care facilities that are being brought on board. More of these folks living in nursing homes are starting to get their shots. That will increase the numbers as well.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.